Do you like Funkos?
Do you like Funkos?
Do you like to eat?
Do you like to eat?
Are you a geek?
Are you a geek?
Geek meets eats.
Oh,
It's time to pop, y'all.
geek meets eats.
We got Funko Pops up in here, handmade robots over there. We got comic books up in here, cooking up a storm over there.
Oh, geek meets eats. Oh,
Geek meets eats.
So this is going to be a rant video. As I sit here in a room virtually surrounded by Funko Pops, I'm fed up. And I know specifically I've been watching the videos on the Gasolcast, and then I saw posts on Instagram today. Even my whole intro song has got Funko in it, and it makes me absolutely sick to my stomach right now. So yeah, I very rarely go off, but I'm going to go off today. First and foremost, on CNN, they did a report on how Funko is sending roughly $30 million worth of pops to a dump, right? A dump. Now, I read an article that states that the homeless population is only bigger in LA and New York City than in Seattle. Now, how many of those homeless are kids? You guys could walk out your back door and give a little kid a little bit of happiness for a moment because they might have lost their house for whatever reason, foreclosure, fire, an abusive situation, and you guys would rather send these items to a dump than provide them to homeless shelters. Additionally, I saw on Instagram today that, oh, well, this is a common practice for businesses in the United States. Are you kidding me? This is exactly what's wrong with the United States. Because we have a huge homeless population, and companies would rather send jeans, shirts, underwear, socks, and stuff like that. Or in this case, for little kids who have nothing to do with their situation of being homeless, you would rather go put them in a dump. Really? There are 250 that I read, 250 children's hospitals across the U.S. That doesn't include all the regular hospitals who also are treating children. But you would rather send that stuff to a dump than pass it out to hospitals. One of the things that I did when I first started my original channel, and I was with Fox, is we did a charity fundraiser for Pops for Patients. And what they did was people donated Pops, or we donated money to buy Pops. And then those packages were sent over to Pops for Patients, so they made sure that they were kid-friendly. They weren't all bloody, gory, and everything else. And those were then distributed out to a children's hospital in the Tennessee area. Would that not be a better use? Oh, no, it's what they do. They lost money. Well, maybe if you stop producing the same mold of the same character with just different paint schemes like blacklight and chrome, and maybe if you stop producing 500 of a certain character in a certain year, you wouldn't have overstocks. Because what you were good at when I started collecting you is that you had exclusivity, you were innovative, and you've lost all of that. Lost it all. Let's make Popsies. Those did well. Let's make Mini Moments. Those did well. And yes, there's specific people that like sports and everything else, but every single time I walk into the discount stores like Walmart, all the golds are sitting on the shelf, including Chase's. So you just keep expanding out in product lines and are not going back to what you were good at, which is this stuff. Which is Grails right here. No, let's make VHS covers and movie posters and everything else. Comic books. Let's just keep pumping them out, guys. But we've lost touch with our core group of collectors. I've said all along, now let's get into the soda thing, because this really ticked me off, and this happened last night. The sodas. The fun thing about sodas is that you could go buy one, and you don't know if you're getting the chase. So there's that little bit of that gambling element there, and the chance that you might actually get a chase. It wasn't just sitting on a shelf with a yellow sticker on it that said, "Buy me, I'm a chase." Everybody had a chance. The same thing that happened during COVID. You know why you did well during COVID? Everybody was grasping on something comforting to hold on to. But the other thing is the average American who was locked down couldn't get to a con, or there weren't any cons, could have a chance at a con sticker. Well, guess what? The economy isn't much better, Funko, but we raise our prices and we take away our chance at normal people getting a chase who can't afford to fly across the country to go to San Diego Comic-Con. You did that well. Stop doing it. Wonder why your con stuff doesn't sell out. But back to sodas. Back to sodas. Our new genius idea is all of these had piece counts on them. 10,000, 5,000, 2,000. And everybody was like, ooh, a chase is only going to be 1 of 600. People wanted them because there was exclusivity there. Now, let's take away the piece counts on the sodas, produce 5 million of them, and guess what? Now they're in discount stores. And guess what's happening? Is all over, all you see is pictures of people popping them open at a Walmart. There's not even a chance of getting a chase there because people are picking through them and opening them. That's fun. I haven't bought one of your non-piece count sodas. Not one. Because I don't know if you've produced 1 million of them or what. But let's have a warehouse sale. You can buy them half off. You know why you have overstock? Because you do stupid stuff like that. And let's talk about our warehouse. Oh yeah, I would have wanted to go to that. Except, what? NFT sodas that people were spending $600-700 trying to collect? You're passing out to your employees first for $15? Thought they were sold out. And yeah, I know this is kicking the can because people have already gone over this. I'm doing my whole rant on what's wrong with you. And now, ever since you moved to Arizona, I've watched 2 people open 27 sodas that they ordered from the Funko shop and not one chase. Not one. And one of those is a YouTuber that on multiple occasions has made orders from Funko Shop and not gotten one chase. How is that possible? Unless your employees in Arizona know which ones are the chases. And then I heard from somebody on Instagram that employees in your stores are saying, hey, this one is a chase. How do they know they're chases? How? I'd rather buy from a mom and pop or go on Whatnot and do a case break because at least I actually have a shot at getting a chase. Because you certainly don't have it coming from Funko Shop. Statistically, you're supposed to get 1 out of 6. 27, there should have been 4 chases in that lot. Statistically. Explain that one. Then there was this whole thing about them firing the art department. You're firing social media. And those are the people that were there for you when the lockdown happened and the world went crazy and there were supply shortages and everything else. But the very people that stood behind you and helped you get where you were 2 years ago and even until today, you fired. Oh, wow. Such loyalty in your company. Brian Mariotti, I'm sure, left when he did because he saw the boat was sinking. And then they had to pay him a crap load of money to come back. Wonder why you have losses. But I haven't seen any changes. I haven't seen anything turn around and go right since Brian came back. Let's report a loss. Let's watch our stock completely tank into half. All right, Fenway. People like Sully and your social media group and everything else. So now you just have Funmaker Mike, which I have no problems with him. He seems like a nice guy, but he doesn't click with me. And I don't think he clicks with a lot of people. I really don't. At least you had a diverse group of people that were on social media and making people excited about your product. And now those people are all gone. The art department that did most of the Grail stuff from years ago, gone. Cheaper, faster. Nobody wants cheaper and faster. These are a collectible. That's why they stay in boxes. People want exclusive. People want low piece counts. People want diverse characters. I know you have 1 billion licenses, so why not expand out a little bit? There's 1 million other Back to the Future characters you haven't done yet. Haven't seen a word. Mandalorian's out now. Haven't seen a word except for one thing that you put on eBay. One. And then I see spoilers on other movies that aren't even out yet that we already know what's going to happen in the movie. You know, your con exclusives used to sell out. And the past couple cons, I've noticed that there's a lot of stuff that hasn't. So either there's way too many of them, or you've just so far lost touch with your clientele and your collector base that you're producing the wrong items. We've gotten 5 Luffys, but I haven't seen anything, like I said, Back to the Future, or anything movie related, or anything else that is even worth a darn. Why? The things you did best at last year were the boxes with the Freddies in it. People want Freddies. Unless you're willing to spend $800 on an NFT, which your employees can get then for $15, you're not getting Freddies now. And not everybody understands the NFT market. You stopped talking to your customer. You stopped caring about the people who have stood behind you for 10 plus years. And I've only been in the game for 3. But for 10 plus years, I know several people in the community that have stood by you for over 10 years. And you gave them the big proverbial middle finger. I noticed these have stopped. The diecast ones have stopped. They don't sell out either. I have them all. One chase. And honest to goodness, the colored ones that are the commons are better looking than the lazy chase that you guys have produced. True. And I've been saying this for a long time. I think you guys have lied all along about the soda counts. Then all of a sudden they were international because I think people were catching on. So now you have an international in this, which muddies the waters a little bit more about how many sodas you're actually producing. So people are basing value, which it shouldn't also just be about value. I love Baby Yoda. I have the Baby Yodas because I love Baby Yoda. I love Mandalorian. I have those. Back here, I have the Flash Gordon ones. I have all of the Ready Player ones. Breast cancer, because I lost my grandmother to breast cancer. Oh, this is where you need to go back to. Right here. Because as of right now, I honestly, besides the ones that were given or gifted to me, or the ones that absolutely mean something to me, like my Mandalorians, my Back to the Futures, the rest of them can go. Because you lost me here. I'm not going to whine and say it's broken my heart, but in essence, it has broken my heart because this is something that I've stood behind, and I've met hundreds of people, some of whom have become some of my closest friends through a love of collecting your product. I don't love it anymore. I don't care anymore. I still have some pre-orders and stuff out that are coming, but I don't see anything on the horizon that's going to make me want to continue to buy your product. And the fact that you're wasting and showing people showing videos of cases of Funko Pops that could have gone to children's hospitals, could have gone to homeless shelters in your own freaking backyard is ridiculous. But your employees, especially the ones in Arizona, can put a bunch of them on eBay. And because they're just flipping them for whatever they can get, you're driving down the value of everything. Bravo, Funko. You really funked up. This over here, this is my new love right here. The company hasn't lost touch with their clientele. They still do interviews with collectors. The molds are all different. They, each character actually looks like the character. It's not just some round head on a body that they can be interchanged. They take time, they take effort, and they're selective. And there's still the excitement because there's some that are low piece counts, like 250. So I've heard all these channels jump on the bandwagon for Handmade by Robots, and I hope it continues because Handmade by Robots is a great company. Mary and those guys over there, awesome company. I hope it never gets to the point where they lose touch like you have, Funko, because it's a really great company. I would rather buy 1,100 of these than buy one more Funko. True story. I hope you prove me wrong. I hope that you can win me back. But as of right now, I feel like you're going the way of the Beanie Baby. There was all this hype. And then the downfall. And all I see right now is Brian Mariotti and that whole crew over there falling out of a plane without a parachute. Better figure it out. Because I'm not the only one. There's a lot of chatter about it. And there's a lot of people that are willing to sell their entire collections and get away from you because of what you've done. I hope you figure it out quick because you're losing a lot of your fans. I really do. And if you haven't already sent all $30 million of product to a dump, find a children's hospital.